Hello, so today is Saturday and I am trying to use up some of the things I have. So I just made tomato soup. It's boiling away. So I'm using up tomatoes in the garden and onions. We got red onions in the garden at the moment. Johan does planting things in the garden and I just try to use them up. Johan and the kids have gone out garage sailing. Hopefully they don't buy too much junk, things we don't need. And Lydia is over there eating morning tea. Say hello.
Yes.
Say hello.
Yes.
So I have two songs to share that I found one of them I found very encouraging, the other one's kind of challenging. So one of them is called Wait on the Lord, and I will share that one. And the other one is called Wounded Soldier, and I heard this a month or so ago at the conference that we went to. Some of my siblings sang it and they'll put it on YouTube, so I will share that one as well. But I've just been thinking a lot about the words. It is kind of about how Christians are in a battle and that there are wounded soldiers, and we need to help one another and help bind up people's wounds. So I've been thinking a lot about that, and then the other day we're reading through the book of Luke with our family devotions, and we read this parable of the Good Samaritan, and I realized it's the same thing again. The phrase just jumped out at me, bound up his wounds. So it's talking about the Good Samaritan who bound up the man's wounds. But that whole story, well, for one, it's kind of a picture of what Jesus is like. So like we are like that man who is being wounded or stripped. So we live in a fallen or a cursed world, and we're all broken in some way. We're all being wounded in some way by something, but Jesus is like that one who, like the Samaritan was an enemy to that guy, but he stopped. He had compassion on him, and he did what he could to help. He bound up his wounds, and he took care of him. That really is what Jesus is to us when we trust in him. He's like that Good Samaritan. He cares about us even though there's no reason why he should. He binds up our wounds. There's a verse in the Old Testament that said he heals the broken in heart and binds up their wounds. So God is the one who can heal our wounds or our sore spots or our broken heart or whatever it is, and he takes care of us, but also he wants us to be like him and to be like that Good Samaritan too, because everywhere we look there are people who are wounded in some way, whether it's with relationships or whether it's loss of a loved one or loss of health, or there's just so many different ways that people are wounded. And that guy was just going on his journey, and he came across somebody, and he went out of his way to help him instead of making excuses on why he shouldn't need to help him. He gave his time, he gave his energy, he gave his money. He gave of himself to help that person, and then when he needed to go keep continuing on his journey, he got somebody else to take care of him too. So I think that's a picture of Jesus said to the person who he was telling the story to, go and do thou likewise. So if we are like Jesus, then we'll have that compassion for other people and go out of our way to help the people that we come across. And we can't always help everybody that we come across because sometimes there's just too many, but if we are prayerful, then God will show us who we are to help. But even just to have that compassion, to care about other people's needs and to do what we can to help. So that's been a challenging thought for me.